2020 continues with John Stossel.
You are about to hear a step-by-step account of young love spiraling toward destruction. What would make a popular high school football star suddenly snap? Why would a teenage girl cling to a boyfriend who's a physical threat to her? It's hard to understand, but today we're told 1 in 3 teens is likely to be caught up in a violent relationship at some point. And as Deborah Roberts has reported, not all of them will get out before it's too late.
Every single girl in the school liked him, and I'm not even exaggerating about that. Like, everybody liked Marcus.
On the outside, he was the perfect kid. But the thing that's so strange to me about Marcus is obviously there was so much turmoil inside him.
You can never be certain of somebody who's unstable. You can't ever say, he will never hurt me.
Marcus McTeer was a star running back at Reagan High School in Austin, Texas. At 16, he was bright and popular and dreamed of college. Until one spring day in March of 2003, when he spiraled out of control and brutally murdered his girlfriend. What had gone wrong? To understand this story of teen dating violence, we need to go back a couple of years earlier, when Marcus began dating a spirited 8th grade classmate named Rayanne Spence.
What was it about him that appealed to you?
Everything. He was very, very sweet to me. Like, we talked till like 3 o'clock in the morning every night, every school night.
At first, Rayanne seemed happy. She was a cheerleader, and her athletic boyfriend poured on the affection. Flowers, love notes, and constant adoration. Then the sweet relationship took a turn. She says Marcus began telling her what to do, what to wear, demanding that she not attract other boys' attention.
I assume this wouldn't have been appropriate.
No, because the shorts are kind of short and shirt's kind of see-through and low cut. I couldn't show a lot of skin, and with the makeup, like if I would wear it like even a little bit, he would get mad.
And did you think this was normal for a boyfriend to behave this way?
It was my first boyfriend, so I really did not really even know like what was normal and what really wasn't.
Rayanne's mother, Elaine, soon noticed that her bubbly daughter was becoming withdrawn and less confident.
It's still painful for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I watched her go from being this vibrant, beautiful girl to this person who never wanted to put on makeup, who worried about everything she wore, to not being able to be herself.
The girl always has to be aware that if he can annihilate you emotionally and verbally slice you and dice you, you can't be sure that he's never going to lay a hand on you.
Dr. Jill Murray, author of the book But I Love Him, says the pattern of abuse in teen dating violence is the same as in adult domestic violence. With Marcus, Rayanne says 1 minute there were tender kisses, the next angry threats. She says the first hint that it was escalating to physical abuse came one day at school.
I was standing with like a group of girls, and he came up to me, and I wanted him to stay with me and not go with his brother. And I just remember him turning around and punching me in my arm. And I mean, I just stood there like, I tried to pretend it didn't happen.
Did you go home and tell your mom?
No.
Rayanne kept her fears secret from almost everybody. One of the scariest moments, she says, happened during an argument between classes when she grabbed Marcus's backpack.
Like when I got to the top of the stairs, he came up behind me and like grabbed me by my arm and like twirled me around and told me never to touch him like that again and pushed me down the stairs.
Were you hurt?
My arms hurt from falling.
What did you do after that?
Called my mom.
And what did you say to Rayanne?
I tried to pound it in her head that this boy was no good for her. I mean, if he was going to push her downstairs, that, you know, what else was he doing that I didn't know about?
There was a lot she didn't know about. Like the time Rayanne says Marcus bit her cheek and set fire to her backpack. She says other students saw the violence but blamed her for the trouble, not the star athlete. Isolated and alone, Rayanne managed to find a moment of confidence and broke up with Marcus.
The most vulnerable time for a girl in a domestic violence situation is when she leaves, because they've taken their power and control back. He doesn't have it anymore.
Just days after they split up, Marcus wrote a heartfelt letter begging Rayanne for another chance.
Can't believe I put someone as beautiful as you through so much pain. You did not deserve that. He just apologized and said he'd never do it again.
So you softened.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking, that it would get better?
Yeah, I always thought it would get better.
But as in most cases of teen dating violence, it didn't get better. Marcus even threatened suicide if Rayanne left him. Then, one day in drama class, the breaking point. Rayanne says Marcus violently smacked her with a notebook.
Like, as hard as he could, like, my ear was ringing. And then he didn't stop. Like, he just, like, turned around and he, like, pinched me on my leg. And it was, like, the size of a lemon, like, bruise. It was, like, it was big. It was, like, it hurt, like, really bad. And, like, that broke me. Like, I could not take that anymore. So I got up and I slapped him back. And that was, like, the worst mistake I could have done, because then he put me in a headlock and, like, continued to, punch me until the teacher stopped him.
Both Marcus and Rayanne were suspended. But in response to the increasing violence, Elaine says school officials essentially did nothing to help her daughter. So she took a drastic step, doing the only thing she could think of to protect Rayanne. She moved clear across town to a new school district.
Why didn't you tell this guy to hit the road?
Because I loved him.
You loved him. Even with the abuse?
I always felt like he needed me.
Were you more scared for him or for you?
Him.
What were you worried about?
"2020 continues with Deborah Roberts.
It was the fall of 2002. Marcus McTeer, a volatile high school football star, was now a sophomore. He'd lost his old girlfriend, Rayanne Spence, who says he battered her for more than a year. But Marcus had moved on to a new girlfriend, a beautiful 15-year-old sophomore named Ortrella Mosley, who had no idea how abusive he could be. Her mother, Carolyn, remembers meeting Marcus for the first time.
Did you like him?
Love him. He was a very good young man. He had his life organized to where he thought he was, he was on the right road. I really thought that they would make a very, very, very good couple.
But what Carolyn never suspected is that the charming boy who wrote love notes to her daughter was a ticking time bomb. Soon, she says, he began to control Ortrella's life just as he had Rayanne's. He dictated what she should wear, watched her every move, and, just as he'd done before, often vowed to take his life if Ortrella left him. By the spring of 2003, Ortrella had had enough.
Ortrella was trying to break up with him.
Yeah, and I told him I would try to see if I can assist in getting him some help.
You had gone to talk to his parents before that. How did they respond to you?
You take care of yours and we'll take care of ours.
You take care of yours and we'll take care of ours.
That was a statement his father made to me.
So they didn't want to hear it?
No.
Marcus's parents denied that the meeting was about getting help for their son. But Ortrella's mother, still worried, insisted that her daughter end the relationship.